Hey guys, welcome back to Web on the Web. It's me, Dan, again, and today is just a little video I just came up with, like in my head this morning, because that's where you come up with things in your head. Where else would you come up with them? Like in your ass or something? I don't know. But anyway, so today's topic, I'm just going to talk about why I love movies so much and what they mean to me. I know I did a little bit of this in the first video I ever made on this channel. The whole who am I and what do I do and what do I like video. This is just going to go into a bit more detail about the film aspect of it, obviously, as this is a film-oriented YouTube channel. So I'll start with the first reason, escapism. Now, from a young age, I didn't really get along with a lot of people. I got, like, when I was in primary school, for example, I got bullied. When I was in secondary, there was some bullshit at the end of it. Well, at the beginning of it kind of evened out as I went through, the whole thing. But like at the end, I always found at the end of the day, the one thing that I could always count on was video games. And then, but then that changed when I went into secondary school. I kind of started to veer towards films instead. I don't know, there's a few reasons for it, obviously. One of them was that a film can change the emotion you're feeling from one to another. So, for example, I would come home after a long day of school and a lot of shit. I'd go into my house and I'd pop in, let's say, one of the Marvel movies, like Iron Man or Captain America. Watching those films, led me from being really upset and depressed to being happy again. And it's mainly because those films just provide me escapism. They have this way of making all my worries fade away, and they replace it with happy thoughts. It just makes it easier to bear, to be honest. It also dispels all your worries, and this is my favourite part of the whole escapism factor. It allows you to live out your fantasies. I've always wanted to be a superhero. Who the hell doesn't? Like, look at that. I know I can't, obviously, because, well, it's just a little bit, just a tiny bit unrealistic, but hopefully one day I will make it there. But by watching these Marvel films and the DC films, though those are a bit mixed right now, we'll stick with the Marvel films with this one. I can just watch what the superheroes do on the screen, and it makes me happy to see it, because I love those films, and I love to see, like, my favourite heroes like Captain America, Iron Man, all the Avengers just team up and kick ass on the screen together. That's awesome. And it's another reason, it's just one of the reasons why I love films so much. So, second reason, obviously, is the entertainment value. Films, in the beginning, weren't actually made to entertain people. They were actually they were made for scientific reasons. I'm a film student, so I learnt this in a lecture that, there was this group that they wanted to prove that, like, they wanted to study how fast a horse runs in a race. So what they did was they got this very slow stock motion camera, and they took a bunch of stills, then they put it together, and obviously it looked like a moving image. Like those little flick books you flick, and then you get those little animations on it. It's kind of like that. It was made for scientific reasons, to study the movement of the horse. Cut forward to the 20th century, you get the Lumiere brothers, and they start making films for the spectacle to make people like, holy crap, I'm on screen, wow. And that sentiment really has carried forward it's developed a lot in the past 100 years. Now we have films that just entertain us, like, say, Star Wars. Those films really do entertain people, obviously, because you see the masses going in, and you're just enjoying a good 2-hour sci-fi kick-ass fantasy adventure. And that's all a lot of people want, to be honest. One of the biggest things in terms of entertainment in film is the spectacle. You go in there to be entertained, to be visually, you go in there to see something cool that you're not going to see every day. So I'll take the Transformers into account here. I'm not the biggest fan of them because I just don't like the way... That's for another video, sorry. But it entertains people. People like the spectacle. They like to see giant robots kicking ass. So that's why the Transformers do so well. That's also why the Marvel films do so well, because like people like me like to see superheroes kick supervillain ass. It's cool. It's visually appealing and it's enjoyable. So obviously That's the entertainment value. But also, actors, they can get inside you, and they can really invoke so many different reactions. Like, you can have an actor who's just there to make you laugh. Say Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, great film by the way, you should watch that. Or you can go to a more serious film. So let's say Schindler's List, and you see Liam Neeson in that, and at first he's this like asshole who's just out to make money, and then he goes deep into the character of Oscar Schindler, and he makes you feel things for the character, and you really start to see him in a different light. And that is another reason why I love films. I just like to see the character's development, and I like to see what the actor can do with the conventions of the film. It's just awesome. It's really cool to see. And finally, for the entertainment value, this really excites me. You can have a film, say like Batman vs Superman, that's panned to shit by the critics, but then you have the people that really enjoy it. And yes, I am admitting it right now, I did quite enjoy Batman vs Superman. Yes, it had its problems, but then you have the whole extended cut that kind of fixed a lot of that. But as you can see, I don't give a shit what the critics thought about this film. I still enjoyed it. So it proves that film really is a subjective art. There is no right or wrong here. And even you could have the most shittiest film like The Room, and people still appreciate that because how bad it is. But see, there's a place for nearly every film. There are a few exceptions, obviously. Human Centipede, but but it still proves that film is subjective, and it's very exciting. That just really excites me a lot. Finally, and here's a cool one, social context. If you're wondering what social context is, basically it's the culture, the conventions, and the rules of society of the different time period other than our own. So you go back into the 1930s, women aren't allowed to work, not allowed to vote, all of that kind of stuff. You come in today, and that's all changed. That's social context. Taking a look at the changes between two, time periods, and seeing how all the conventions and the context and the rules and of society have all, changed and started to engage more. So by looking at films, you can actually get an insight into the different context of the times, of the different time periods being portrayed and depicted in the film. So firstly, obviously, films do give us a little window to look into the past. So if you're interested in history, like certain YouTube channel people, including me, you can use film to basically engage with the past. You can take a historical film, say, let me think, Bridge of Spies, and you can look into Cold War, the whole Cold War. You can look at the whole Cold War and how that affected foreign policy, how it affected people's lives, how people in, say, East and West Germany, the two different East Germany, West Germany, the two very different lifestyles, sharing that each class of people had, and it's really interesting to have a look at. Also, by engaging with the past, we can safeguard the future. So we'll take Schindler's List again. You look at the genocide and the horror of the Holocaust depicted in that film, and you can use it to plan out the future and safeguard to ensure that never happens again. And it's really exciting because it just proves that film has got more than entertainment and escapism value. It's also got real life. It's got real life ground value that everyone can draw from the highest class down to the lowest class. Film can unite us all. And finally, it does give us a little insight into the VP of the director, the viewpoint. You can really tell what the hell this guy or girl is thinking, and you can just see it play out on the screen. And we'll take Mel Gibson's brand new film Hacksaw Ridge. You really can see Mel Gibson's slightly controversial conservative values in that film. But that film was very good, by the way. You should go see that. But it just proves that film really is. It's an art form that allows a director to engage with the audience and just bring their vision to life. And it makes me really excited to be getting into the business now. I'll tell you that. So guys, sorry for droning on a bit there, but I was excited to talk about this. So I want to let me know down in the comments, why do you love film so much? And there'll be a review coming soon, guys. I promise that. Just been a bit busy again. That's just a cold word for I couldn't be asked, basically. But sorry about that, guys. There will be a review coming away soon, so you should stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day. Peace.